violin strings are best? Keep watching to find out. If we haven't met, hi, I'm Megan. I'm a violinist and teacher currently based in New Jersey. I've been playing the violin for over 20 years, have both my bachelor's and master's degrees in violin performance, and my specialty is helping adults learn how to play the violin as easily and as joyfully as possible. Today we're going to be diving into everything violin strings. Now, before I get into the video, I want to preface this by saying this is just my opinion. Everyone's tastes are different, and if you agree with me or disagree with me, that is totally and completely fine. But here are the strings that I would recommend as a professional violinist. I also want to say that there's so many types of strings on the market that I think it would be literally impossible for one person to try them all. So I am speaking from a limited point of view. I haven't tried every single violin string out there. And if you have one that you absolutely love, please comment down below because I would love to try it. So when picking out violin strings, I think there's two things that you need to consider. First is your budget. Obviously, violin strings can be pretty cheap, or they can be very expensive. And as with anything, you are going to get what you pay for. But before looking at violin strings, I would determine a budget. That way you're not looking at something that's totally outside, there you go, outside your budget, and you don't get disappointed. Second thing to consider is what type of sound are you going for? I think this has two sides to it. One, what type of sound does your violin have? Is your violin a brighter violin or is it a darker violin? And if you're unsure what I mean by that, I'm going to leave a link in the description to a video that I did on bright versus dark violin sound. And the other thing to consider is, what do you prefer? Do you prefer bright sound or dark sound? All of the strings that I talk about here in this video will be linked down below so you can check them out for yourself. So for students, my recommendation always is dominant. I feel like they have a very middle of the road sound. So in other words, not too bright, not too dark, which means that they can work on a wide variety of instruments. I also feel as though the price is middle of the range as well. It's about $50 to $60 for a whole set, obviously depending on where you are in the world, and I'm in the US, just for reference, on the East Coast. I had dominance all through when I was a kid. But another set of strings that I have not personally tried myself, but I have heard great things about, are the D'Addario heliacork strings. They are slightly cheaper, I would say around $30, $35 a set. Again, I have not tried them myself, but again, I think they're a good middle of the range string, not too bright, not too dark. If you're looking for a darker set of strings, I personally really love the Ava Parazzis. I feel like they are really bold, they are really dark, and they're really strong. Another set that I've tried, which I liked, but not as much as the Ava Parazzi, is the Vision solo strings. For me, they were a little too dark for my instrument. My instrument is a pretty bright one, so they didn't work personally for me, but they are very good strings. A set of strings that are darker that I have not tried, but I've heard amazing things about, are the Warchal Amber strings. I have no idea if I'm saying that right, so if I'm not, please correct me. For brighter strings, I love the Peter & Fell Pie strings. That's what I currently have on my violin. I've been using them for several years now. I just feel like they're bright, they are shiny, I just love them. But they are a little bit more on the expensive side. So those are the strings that I personally like. Again, if you have another suggestion or strings that you really like or really don't like, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe before you go, and I'll see you in the next one.